We are just days away from Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. What are my thoughts? Before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, or just do the opposite. I don't really care. I'm trying to make this video quick because my storage is terrible, and if this video doesn't go up, then it will be a live stream. Anyways, Ben Askren versus Jake. Who's winning? The pros and cons of Ben is an elite level athlete. He's been through it. He's got cardio, got hit by Robbie Lawyer. He's an athlete. He knows what he's doing. He can take big shots. And while he doesn't have the best boxing, what he does know is how to compete and be an athlete and get his hand raised up at the end of the fight. The cons is pretty much everything else. His boxing is terrible. His punches look weak. He's even admitted that if Jake is a good boxer, which we all know he is, he's losing. So he basically just admitted defeat in a way. He's not training as hard as Jake. He's not sparred enough people that, at all. And, he hasn't sparred as many people as Jake has, and definitely not at the same level. Jake is working harder than him. He's more motivated, he's more driven, and what tends to win fighters these YouTube events is motivation and wanting to win. And again, Jake, pros and cons. Cons is, I think he could, rush in too hard and try and get that early knockout and tire himself out. And from one of the stories that one of the people that sparred him said is that basically he's not a real fighter. He can't go into deep waters. He's not very adventurous, and he'd rather just box on the side, and how his sparring partner was hitting him in the nose and making him bleed. And ultimately, he thought that Ben Askren had the win over Jake, which I thought was interesting. However, Jake has the power, the skill, the technique, the age difference, the motivation. He's young, he's hungry, and more importantly, he knows how to box. And again, his opponents have made him look 10 times better than he already is. But still, you can see very clearly he's a good boxer. He's working really hard, and he has a lot of potential. And like I said, I think he can be the McGregor of boxing. Now, who's winning? I'm going with Jake every day, no delay. I've not been more confident in a fighter than anything else. Jake has everything going for him, and Ben has everything going against him. Now, what I will say is this. Ben Askren could win this fight. However, I think he's depending and thinking that Jake isn't that good of a fighter. He's thinking he's a YouTube kid, but Jake is a YouTube kid that knows how to box, and I think Ben is highly underestimating him. And furthermore, I don't think he's prepared enough, both boxing skills and mentality-wise, to face Jake. And again, the reason why Ben Askren's career is so luscious and he's only had one loss, and people say he has a chin made of steel, is because he is able to do takedowns and wrestle people, and that is what he's best at. That is Ben Askren's biggest asset, and it also wins him the fight. Like when he was hit by Robbie Lawyer, yes, he took those big shots with those small gloves, but guess what? He got right back up because he knew he was able to take down Robbie and change levels to mess up not only Robbie, but other people in general, and basically was able to take down and wrestle Robbie into submission. I think that's how it ended, but don't quote me. And he used his biggest strength while also giving himself the time to recover. That's why he's done so well. If that was a boxing fight, Ben would have lost. If Ben could not do takedowns or wrestling in any of his past fights, he would not be as well respected as he is today, and he would have way more losses than wins. Ben Askren's boxing is weak, it's trash, and yes, I know he kind of trolled us, and he looked way better in the open workout, and Jake was doing the weird Superman thing, but still, in the sparring footage, he went like this. And, even going back to his MMA days, his boxing is notoriously bad. And yes, Ben could tire Jake out and take big shots from Jake, and then he'll just come forward because it won't affect him. And again, I genuinely believe that Ben will take shots from Jake, and if Nate could last 2 rounds, Ben can last 3. Probably 5, 4, I don't know. But what I will say is that if you're getting hit constantly again and again, big uppercuts to the chin, body, chest, and you're weak. Ben is not going to be able to touch Jake. He's not going to be able to hurt him. Yes, but the thing is that Jake has proven with the Deadly fight that he can go a hard 5 rounds and continue to throw big shots and be the dominant force. And while Deadly is way better than Ben, Deadly just let Jake abuse him, and he just didn't have anything to come back with when there was time for Jake and him to exchange. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to Ben. Ben is obviously a lot different than Deadly, and I think he can take shots a lot better than Deadly, but he's not going to be able to get in the inside. He's not going to be able to do anything because Jake's going to have an answer for that. He's been training with MMA guys, with pro boxers, with people that are way better than Ben at the level of Ben. So he knows how to take those dirty tactics and apply it. He is ready for this fight. And Ben simply isn't, and that's what it comes down to. Objectively, if you look at who is the better boxer, Ben or Jake, Ben is the one to lose. Jake is the one to win. I want to be disproven. I want everything I'm saying to be wrong. I want Ben Askren to win, and if he does, it will be in the later rounds. But I'm predicting a 3rd round or 4th round TKO. The towel is going to get thrown in. The ref's going to call it off. I think Ben's just going to be taking big shots, and he's not going to have anything to answer with. I think it's just going to get hit. And I don't think Ben's going to be, like, hurt. But I think he's just not going to show the ref or his team that he can continue to go on. I think he's just going to get badly bruised and beaten up. And I know that he can take big shots for days. But if you can take big shots in boxing. But if you're not going to respond with anything and reply and show people that you're still willing to fight, they're going to call it off. And that's exactly what's going to happen. It's like Doug Deadly was still ready to go on. But he wasn't answering with anything. And that's what's going to happen with Ben, is that Jake is going to just overpower him with technique. You know, heart and taking a shot only gets you so far in boxing. It's all about boxing skills and IQ. And I think I'm going to do a live stream to better encapsulate my thoughts, because I don't want this video to go on for another minute, because I don't know when this is going to stop. But again, I think Jake is going to win, and Ben's biggest asset, his biggest strength, is taken away from him. And I think that he's just not going to be able to recover enough in time after Jake hits him with big shots. It's like, you can't take down somebody in boxing. You can't do that. I'm sorry, but you can't. And you take away his biggest strength, what you're left with is pretty much nothing. Will I be impressed with this? All depends on how Ben boxes. I think Ben's going to box in a combination of Nate and Gib. If he boxes any better than that, he gives Jake a hard time. He makes him go into the later rounds. If Jake still knocks him out, I'll give him credit. But if he boxes and he goes like this, and that's how he loses, I'm not going to be impressed. And you can call me a fanboy, you can call me delusional, but I will not fear for KSI. And I certainly don't think this is Jake's toughest challenge. You can debate me all you want. That's my thoughts. I don't really care what you guys think. See you in the next video. Peace.